Arrested Development Season 1, 2 Cents point of view review. I remember watching this show in November 2003 and thinking, like, how did this show get on the air on Fox? It's like it was a one camera show. There was different locations. It had all kinds of different actors and characters. I've never seen anything like this before. And of course, it became a trendsetter for shows like 30 Rock, even Family Guy, and etc., where they kind of like played with the narrative. They played with the time capsule. And were shows like even like Seinfeld and Friends and all those other shows that were so popular were kind of grounded in its own way, even though they're kind of zany because they were sitcoms. You just don't take any of these plots, you don't take any of the situations in Arrested Development seriously. And if you talk to a lot of people, it's obviously some people will say this show is the greatest show of all time, comedies of one of the greatest comedies of all time, but other people will say that they appreciate the humor, they love the performances, but it's one of those shows where it's like you want to like follow the plot, you want to like root for these characters, you want to like fall in love with them in a way like regular like family sitcoms, and this show is not like that. And so it's not for everybody, but then the ones who truly love it really love it. It's kind of like it's like the Star Trek of comedies, meaning that it has its loyal fan base, and those people are not going to be unconvinced that this is the greatest show, one of the greatest comedies of all time. My favorite episode of season 1 was the Spring Breakers episode. When I first watched it, I could still giggle just even thinking about it. It was 12 episodes, and it was like, wow, that was interesting. And the guy from Valerie's Family and Silver Spoons was the lead. Look at Jason Bateman now. The guy's like a movie star, and obviously all the other actors have really benefited from this show. So this is what's so interesting about this show is that everybody's kind of benefited from it. The ratings were not that high; they were always somewhat low, but it's got that cult following. They did 12 episodes on a lark, and they got season 2. So, and and they got the Netflix show in season 4. And I know it wasn't for everybody's cup of tea because they really went down on the really laughter sadness point of view. That show was very pathetic and very sad, and it was really hard to like any of these characters. So it's that fine line of like the zaniness comedy, but how far do you go? But we'll get to that later. But season 1, a brilliant 12 episodes. You can watch it in a good 4 or 5 hours, have fun on a rainy Sunday, and it's one of those shows you can watch over and over again. You can watch it 6 times over. That's my review.